Hello, everyone. It's time for Van Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. I'm your host, Pete Costanis. This is episode 466, season 19. Today's date is August 19, 2025, and welcome to the show. And to my Greek friends and family, kalos ήρθατε, γεια σας. That means welcome and hello. On today's program, I'm going to talk about a restaurant, which I talked about this one before, back in episode 203, the Chez Paul Restaurant that was located in the Gold Coast area of Chicago. But this time I have a menu, and I will read the menu off of this place, and I'll talk about the memories of this wonderful establishment. Also, I will read off a directory from the Randhurst Mall from the 1960s, and I'll read what stores were there at the time. And the mall is still there in a way. I'll explain. But before I get started, the program will go into a commercial break. And this program is brought to you by Bell Telephone, and it's from the Bell Phone Center. And here's a commercial from 1978. So let's sit back and relax. Let's go back to the late 1970s for the Bell Telephone commercial that sold those wonderful telephones. I'll be right back with the rest of the show, folks. Thank you.
For my first phone, I chose one of the first phones. I choose my friends very carefully.
If you're choosy about getting a phone that's genuinely you, be extra choosy and get one that's genuine Bell. Because when you get right down to it, this isn't a phone. This is.
For me, the choice was obvious.
Be choosy, get genuine Bell.
Okay, everyone, I'm back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for Bell Telephone. They had the Bell phone centers. They had them in the malls and also in the Sears stores at one time. They opened in 1976, according to a website, in Hallandale, Florida. And they were testing it, and it became popular. And then it just spread out through the 70s and 80s. And then if you went to a Sears store, they were there. They had a special section. Then that happened. They started in the 80s for that. The one I remember was in Fort City Mall. Sears wasn't. There was a Sears store that came later, but it wasn't located there. It was in the mall. I forgot where exactly it was. I don't know where. I don't know. I don't remember. I saw it one time, and that was it. Then they changed it. They rebranded around 1983, 1984, and they called it AT&T Phone Centers. And then Bell Phone Center went away. So when you went in the store, you saw different kinds of phones. Like, for example, Mickey Mouse one, the one on the it's like a chalkboard. You hang it there. And there were French phones. I talked about this in a video this past Sunday. I did a video and talked about landline phones, and I mentioned about that. So if you can check out my video, it's under Pete Costanis, and you would find that. You can subscribe for me if you'd like. Thank you. Thank you. You could do that. And I talked about about my memories of the landline phones, and this was included. Okay. All right. Excuse me. At the beginning of the program, I mentioned I'm going to talk about Chez Paul Restaurant that was in Chicago. Also, I will read a menu from that. Also, I'll read a directory from the Randhurst Mall that was located in Mount Prospect, Illinois. Before I get started, I'll give you a quick health update. I'm doing okay so far. Next chemo is September 2nd. All right. This past weekend, I went to Fan Expo in Rosemont. I had a lot of fun. It was a comic book convention. I met a couple celebrities. I saw Rainn Wilson from The Office. Nice man. Oh, that was a dream. I loved it. Also, see what else. So I had a great time. And then I went to my church festival, the St. Connie's. I got rather late. Something came up. I mentioned this in the video. And then I went again. I went out to lunch at Greek Restaurant Cafe with my friend. and then I went to the festival. So I was on the go. I rarely do that. I have too many events in a weekend because sometimes the weekends I relax, or I do go out, but I relax, and it's very calm like that. Or I do my podcast too. And so everything's simmered down now. The funny thing is, when I'm out in public, only one person recognized me at Fan Expo, and they said Van Chicagoland, and it was some young man. And he says, I love your page. And I said, thank you. Shook my hand, and he was on his way. That's very nice. And it happened to me at the Greek festivals, at the Greek festival. There are people that I know I went to school with, go to church, and they say, that's wonderful. I even met a couple of people I never met. And they said, we love your page. We love what you do. You make us very happy. That's nice. That's very nice indeed. Okay, so now let's get started. We'll talk about Chez Paul. I'll give you a little history of this. Chez Paul was opened in 1945. The man's name is Paul Cantos. It was located at 180 East Delaware Place at first in 1945. And then it moved to the other location as, what was it? Rush Street. I keep forgetting. 660 North Rush Street. It moved to a mansion. It was called the Robert Hall McCormick II Mansion. Yeah, and it's a beautiful building, and they made it so elegant. Oh, it's wonderful. And they had they served French cuisine, and let's see. So his son took over. I forgot his name. I'll find it. Like that. So, yeah, it was Bill. His name's Bill. He ran it, the rest of it, until he died in 1993. And then his wife kept it open about a couple more years, and then it closed in 1995. And right now, it's the last time I heard, it's used as an office for the Encyclopedia Britannica. They used to have a conference room or something like that. I passed by it one day, a long time ago, but I didn't know it was Chez Paul, but it was a gorgeous building. It's a beautiful home, beautiful the architecture. Oh, it's spellbinding. Like that. Anyway, here comes the famous part of this restaurant. Then I'll get to the menu. The exterior of the restaurant was used for the 1980 movie The Blues Brothers, but they filmed the interior, I think, in Hollywood. They didn't do that. I don't know if they asked the owners if we could film inside. That would have been interesting. Probably not. They say, oh no, be a mess. Okay. So, the scene in the movie where Jake and Elwood entered the restaurant because there's a guy who was a maitre d'. He used to be in the band, and tried to persuade him to rejoin the band, but he refused. So they just sort of barged in and sat and had dinner. How could they afford all the food? And they just made themselves ridiculous. They were eating shrimp, and there's a couple of scenes. How much for the little girl? I didn't see the movie in the theater, but I wish I did. And if I heard that line, I would die laughing. And so did I assume everyone in the audience did, like that, because there was a family and real uppity man, didn't want to be seated next to them. That happens. And they tried to persuade the maitre d' to rejoin the band, and he reluctantly did, because John Belushi told them, we will be here every day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So that was that. Okay. So now I have the menu, so I'm going to read that off. I found a menu, luckily, that's in English, because I found some menus in in French. I don't speak French. Reading it will be a little tough, but thank God they have it for English. And this menu is not from the Rush Street address. It's from the Delaware place. So it must have been in the 50s or the 60s. So I'm very lucky with that. So here we go. And let me move it up a bit. I'm sorry. Yeah, hold on a second. I'm having a little trouble. Okay, they have appetizers, baked shrimp a la Paul, baked Alaska king crab a la Paul, hors d'oeuvres, assorted Francois, whatever you want, supreme of shrimp with cocktail sauce, Alaskan crab meat, tomato juice, blue points on a half shell. I don't know what that is. Escargot, baked oysters. They had that. Soups, they had soup of the day, soup onion with Parmesan. I think that's French onion soup. They had consomme and cold vichyssoise. Okay. Specialties they had, let's see. They served with assorted relish and cottage cheese, potato du jour. So it wasn't every day. It was a different type of potato, and also salad, and a beverage was served with the entrees. Okay. They had brook trout with almond, sauté in butter. I'm not going to read the French names because it's too hard. They had shrimps or oysters with garlic butter, Alaskan king crab with garlic butter, cream lobster with sherry wine and mushrooms, frog legs sautéed in butter and garlic, walleye pike with lemon butter sauce, veal kidneys and mushrooms cooked in red wine, and rockling grouse with wine sauce and wild rice. Wow, that sounds amazing. Okay, and let's continue here. A breasted chicken under bell with ham. I don't know what that means. Roast half duck with wild rice and orange sauce. Tripes a la mode. You can get what tripes are. Calf brains sauteed with capers. Oh my God. I never had calf brains. I knew of someone that did eat that. And I asked him, how was it? He said, very tasty. Very tasty. You'll get grossed out, but once you eat them, that's good. But they do eat brains in France. Yes, they do. They had, genuine Dover sole, broiled or sauteed with almonds, baby lobster tail, drawn butter, broiled whitefish with almonds sauteed, and baked ham with wine sauce, sweetbreads and wine sauce, calf livers and bacon, pork chops, country style, veal scallopini marsala. Oh, that's Italian. I didn't know that. Roast half chicken a la Paul with or wine sauce, broiled lamb chops, chopped steak bordelaise, brochet de filet mignon with bordelaise sauce, New York cut strip sirloin, if like, and then they had Chateaubriand broiled steak for two, and also beef tenderloin steak sandwich grilled with the grilled tomato. That sounds good. That sounds wonderful. Now we'll get to the desserts. This is my favorite. Desserts. They had ice creams, ice creams. I don't know. They said ice. I don't know what that means. Oh, it must be sherbet. Oh, sorry. They had chocolate, vanilla, maple nut ice cream. Maple nut sounds good. Orange sherbet. Bombay Pyrenees ice cream. Fruit. It's like fruit. It's ice cream with fruit and rum sauce. They had parfait, tricolor, stuffed, I can't pronounce that, profiterole. It's a cream puff ice cream with chocolate sauce and a chocolate parfait. That sounds good. They had assorted French pastries or layer cake, fruits, either half a grapefruit if you want, or fruit compote. So they had coupe Macédoine, crush, the sherbet with fruit. Imported cheeses, they had camembert, Lindercress, and Roquefort on toasted crackers. I like that. They had Cherry's Jubilee, Bake Alaska, Crepe Suzette, and Cafe Diablo. Oh, okay. I love Crepe Suzettes. I had it once. Delicious. I forgot to mention the liqueurs they had. Let's see. Apricot brandy, blackberry brandy, Kahlua, Cointreau, Chartreuse, cognac, cordials, creme de cow, creme de menthe, white or green, curacao, cherry herring, Grand Marnier, Poussey Café Americain, Kirsch Alsace, Napoleon, and wines. They had Madeira, sweet cherry, and port. I like port. That sounds good. Okay, that was fun. That was a fun menu. So I didn't realize what they had on the menu. I'm sure it was delicious back then. The food was probably outstanding. So when I posted this yesterday, I'm going to talk about the menu from this place. The Blues Brothers references just came pouring with the comments. So that's great. There are not many French restaurants in Chicago. There were a lot of them at one time, but I can't think of one on the top of my head. What is there now? What French restaurants are open. I'm gonna do a Google search later on and see. Okay. I'm going to take a break, and when I come back, I'm going to read a directory from the Randhurst Mall from the 1960s. That was located in Mount Prospect, Illinois. So sit back and relax, and I'll be right back with the rest of the show, folks. Thank you.
Out here, you get used to the good, natural things, like the taste of real cream. Real cream. That's what makes La Creme whipped topping different than those cool whipped toppings. You see, La Creme is made with cream. They're not. And there's no mistaking that rich, real cream taste of La Creme. Buttercup, you did good.
La Creme whipped topping from the dairy folks at Kraft. Real cream taste.
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed that break. Right now, I'm going to talk about the Randhurst Mall. Let me give you a history of that. It was first called Randhurst Center, then Randhurst Mall. Now it's called Randhurst Village. It's still a shopping center. It's located at Rand Road, on the corner of Rand Road and that's Route 12, and Elmhurst Road, that's Route 83, in Mount Prospect, Illinois. And that's where they got the name of the mall, Randhurst. They got it from Rand Road and Elmhurst. I never knew that. And that opened in 1962, August 16th. Yeah, about a long time ago. And so it's over 60 years. It was there for many years. A lot of stores moved and closed like that. And it had a hotel. They had a 12-screen cinema. When Randhurst Theater opened, I think I don't know how many screens exactly, maybe 2, 3, something like that. And right now they have a Costco, they have a Jewel, they have a PetSmart, a TJ Maxx, Home Depot, they have that. So I'll tell you what. So they opened this in 1962. At the time, Carson Peary Scott wanted to expand, not just in the city. They want to go into the suburbs. They went to Old Orchard, Oak Brook Center. Carson's is gone. And then so they went over to Randhurst. And it was a big store. And they had one in Eden's Plaza, I believe. Yeah, they had that. Did it go to Old Orchard? No, I don't think so. I think, no, Marshall Fields went there. Excuse me, I apologize. Yeah, Marshall Fields did that. So Carson's went to Eden's Plaza. Yeah. So they opened Montgomery Ward, the Fair. I'll get to that in a minute. And so they had 3 major department stores at the time. They had Weebles, Carson Peary Scott, and the Fair. The Fair didn't last long. I think it closed around 1964, so it was only there for a couple of years. Other stores they had Baskin's, Charlie Stevens, I think Maurice Rothschild's, Jewel. They had Kresge's, Woolworth. The Fair closed, and then Montgomery Ward moved in. Okay. And let's see. So let me see what we got. What are the stores? So there was a list of what was there and what was where. So right now, they have the Home Depot, Costco. They have the theaters that opened 2011, and the Jewel. The Jewel opened in 1962, but they moved elsewhere in 1975 to the northeast section, and then they tore it down and rebuilt it in 96. And then they opened Macy's there about last year. Yeah, I didn't know that. Okay. So the stores that were open before was the Fair, and it was only there for about a year or two, and then the Montgomery Ward moved in, and they demolished in 2004. Montgomery Ward opened 63, and closed in 2001. That's where all the Montgomery Wards closed, and it was demolished 3 years later. Carson's closed in 2018. Then Macy's moved in, I believe, and then Weeboats opened in 62. They closed in 87, and then Bergner's moved in. I never shopped at Bergner. Yeah, I never shopped there. Then it closed. It was there for only 3 years. It opened in 87, and then it closed in 1990. There was Joseph Spies and Company, opened in 87, closed in 92. JCPenney opened in 1989, closed in 2001, and it was demolished in 2004. Main Street opened in 86, which converted to Kohl's, and I believe it's still there. So remember Main Street? Yeah. Oh, no, Kohl's. Yeah, then Kohl's opened in 1988. They closed in 2004, and they tore it down. Oh, that's a shame. I didn't know that. I've only passed by Randhurst once in the 90s. Just one day, I just drove by. I wanted to go there, but I didn't have time. I was on my way somewhere, and I wanted to see it. So that's a shame. So it's probably totally different from what it was before. I heard they had their own bank there at the time, like that. So I'm going to look on Facebook and read some more information about the mall, because I'm very fascinated about it and the history of that. So it's kind of cool. Okay. Right now, let's see. I've got the directory right in front of me. Just a moment, please. Here we go. Not only the mall had stores, but they also had professional offices. They had dental offices. Yeah, dentist office. Offices. I can't even say it. They have ophthalmologists. They had paid telephones, drinking fountains. So, yeah, they had a lot of dental offices there. Okay, so I have the map right here. Just a moment. I'm going to read off what was there. Just a moment, please. There we go. So they had Carson Perry Scott. They had the Fair store. A lot of people don't remember the Fair store. It was a department store. It opened over 100 years ago, or more than that. They had one in downtown. They had one in Evergreen Plaza, and I think one in Oak Park. I don't know where else it was there. I think those are the locations. So let's see. And then after that, they had Weeboats. I heard it was a beautiful store back then. They had the Amerco Optical Company. I remember this company. I remember there was an office downtown on Michigan Avenue. They had Apple Basket Restaurant, Baker's Shoe Store, Baskin Clothing Company, Benson Rickson. Remember that? That was on State Street. Brodigan Florists and Gifts, the Card Shop. At Carson's, they had they had restaurants, 4 restaurants. The Treetop Restaurant, the Bird's Nest Cocktail Lounge, the Pancake Branch, and the Tartan Tray Cafeteria. Yeah, I think there was a Tartan Tray downtown, I think. Then they had Caress Hosiery, Chandler's Shoe Store, Claire Hats, CoverGirl, Craft Studio, Dutch Mill Candies, Emery's Tailor Shop, Fabric Mart, Famous Beauty Salon, Flag Brothers Shoes, remember that? Another shoe store, Floorshine, Frank Jewelers, Garfield's Gift Shop. They have the Jewel Food Store, The Carpet Showcase, K. Campbell's. I don't know what store that was. Probably a dress store, I believe. Kinney Shoes, Knit and Pearl Shop. Kresge's, Lane Bryant, Lauders, Le Petit Café, Le Rendezvous Snack Bar, William A. Lewis, remember that store? Lorcy's Fashion Accessories, Lion and Healy, remember that they had musical instruments there. Mariana Shops, Norman's, O'Connor and Goldberg Shoes, remember that? O&G. Or is it yeah, it's O&G. It had stores all over. They had one downtown. Pam's Tots Tatine. Okay. And then Randhurst Bank, Randhurst Barbershop, Randhurst Camera Shop, Randhurst Corned Beef Center. They had one in Evergreen Plaza. Randhurst Heel Bar, Randhurst Key Shop, Randhurst Music Center, Randhurst Shaver Service, Randhurst Tie Rack, Maurice Rothschild's, the Singer Sewing Center. So you buy your sewing machine or needle and threads over there. Stewart's, Sun Self-Serve Drugs, Ted's Sportswear, Walton Rug and Furniture Company, White Collar Girls of America, and Youthful Shoes. And those had elevators there, so it was like upper level and lower level. I wish I went there. This sounds like a fun place. It really does. Yeah, so Randhurst is not what it used to be. So, okay. So that's it for this show. I'll do a recap of what I talked about. I read a menu from the Chez Paul Restaurant that was located at 660 North Rush Street. Previously, it was at 180 East Delaware Place. Also at the Randhurst Mall, that's located on the corner of Rand Road and Elmhurst Road. That's Route 83 in Mount Prospect, Illinois. And I read a directory from the 1960s. This podcast will be uploaded later on today, wherever podcasts are found, on any apps, like, for example, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Breaker, Overcast, Good Pods, Podbean. If you have those apps on your phone or your tablet, just tap on those, click follow. You receive a notification of the latest episodes. All the episodes are there. Also be uploaded on my blog, vanishchicagoland.blog. They'll be there. They're all listed. You click on the link, it'll take you to listen. If you sign up with your email, you'll probably receive a notification. Also, it'll be on my YouTube channel. And again and again and again, people always ask me, where do I find your podcast? They asked me that this morning. Go to YouTube. Type in the search, Vanish Chicagoland Stories, or my name, Pete Costanis. You will find it. Click subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. You receive a notification. All the episodes are there. If you have CarPlay, you can listen to it in your car. It's on. If you listen to Spotify or on your TV, if you stream it, or on YouTube. Also, be sure to have my social media accounts: Facebook, X, LinkedIn, Reddit, Blue Sky, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. Oh, that was fun. That's a good show. Okay. So this is Pete Costanis, your host of Vanish Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. Thank you for joining me. Today is going to be not a bad day. We had a lot of rain. I don't know if it'll rain again. I hope not. We've had enough. And so just enjoy yourselves. And so here's bye-bye for me. And here's a little traveling music from our famous person in the whole wide world, a Chicago legend, Ray Rayner, saying bye, bye, bye. Take care, everyone, and so long, and I'll see you next time.
We have to go. Bye, bye, bye.